Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Man, man. What a day yesterday was. What a day yesterday was. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Woo. What a day. We got a lot to talk about today. Um, Y'all get in the comment section. Let me know who we should talk about first. As you guys know, it's the big three, man. It's the big three. Miami, Florida State, and Florida. Who should we talk about first from yesterday? Who should we talk about first? Should we talk about the Florida State Seminoles? Should we talk about the Florida Gators? Or should we talk about the Miami Hurricanes? Who should we talk about first? We're going to talk about those three first. Then we're going to get to the rest of college football. As you guys know, on these Sundays, we do a whole college football, recap. And then we do the next week, we try to preview the games that are going to get played, try to predict here and there, this, that, and the third. So games got played yesterday, man. All three teams played yesterday. Miami, Florida State, and Florida. One team won, the other two lost. I don't know what happened. I don't know who won. I don't know who lost. So y'all can tell me who won y'all can tell me who won and who lost and this, that, and the third, man. I was living behind a rock yesterday. So listen, man. I see one Florida State in the chat. So you guys want to start with Florida State? Oh man. Y'all, hey, let me know in the chat now who y'all want to start with. Y'all want to start with Miami? Y'all want to start with Florida State? Or y'all want to start with the Miami Hurricanes? I'm gonna give y'all like a minute to, put them in the chat, man. Should we talk about the winner first? So should we talk about the losers? There was two losers yesterday. Losers. Straight losers. Naked. I'm not sponsored by Naked. I just like it. It's a smoothie, To be honest with you guys, the reason I didn't do the show earlier, literally woke up like 30 minutes ago. Had to go, do the essentials, brush your teeth and all that other stuff. And come talk to you guys. But man, what a night. What a day. What a night. The Kings of South. Okay. So I'm a Florida State fan. We are hot shit. Oh, damn. Yeah, y'all are hot shit. FSU, saved the best for last. FSU might have won. Okay, all right. So y'all want to start with FSU. I can already read the room. And they said the champs first. Okay. So y'all okay. So y'all still kind of a little divided in the. Let me know. Y'all want to start with FSU, the Florida Gators, or the Miami Hurricanes? I'm gonna give y'all some more time, seeing that it's a little bit divided between Miami and FSU right now. Just put Miami, just put FSU. Who we starting with? Today is y'all show. All right. FSU are really 0-4 because they lost to Georgia. Yeah, in 2024, that's a fact. I'm a UF fan. We are hotter. He said we are hotter than the pole of. Oh, damn. Right, well, I didn't show the whole thing. Let me. You say hotter than the pole of shit. Damn, that's tough. FSU, start with FSU. All right, so FSU yesterday. FSU took on the Memphis Tigers. Mike Norvell's old school. The school that got Mike Norvell the job at Florida State. Now, a lot of people said that, Mike Norvell went into a well-oiled Memphis, and 4 seasons there did well because it was well-oiled for him. And obviously, you see what's going on now. Mike Norvell at Florida State, and I've been telling you guys this for years, for those of y'all that have been watching the channel, Mike Norvell can't recruit very well at the high school level. He just can't. He's been the Porter guy since like the second year of his his tenure at Florida State. First season 3-6, absolutely terrible. They made the excuse that these are Willie Taggart guys. These guys aren't that good. We saw that year guys like Marvin Wilson. Those guys that's supposed to be like top notch turned out to be buses. Didn't even get drafted. And then the next season come around, Mike Norvell went. So the next season come around, and Mike Norvell went 5-7 and lost to like Jacksonville State and everything like that. So he's like, you know what? I can't get nobody to come to Florida State. I can't recruit that well. Let me, hit the transfer portal. Hit up the transfer portal. Got some talent to come to Florida State. Boom. They won 10 games. Now, I told you guys that year when they won 10 games, it was not impressive to me because during that stretch of winning 10 games, there was 3 ranked opponents that they played back to back to back. And I myself told you guys from watching Florida State and analyzing their team that they was going to lose all 3 of those games, those ranked opponents. And what did they do? They lost all 3 of the ranked teams. Nonetheless, they finished out the season. They won a bowl game, and they won 10 games. Boom. 9-3, 10-3. The next season come around, Mike Norvell goes back in the transfer portal again, and he re-upped. Got some great talent. Jared Verse, Trey Benson, and all those guys. All the guys you saw basically that, got drafted last year. The mercenaries, the Johnny Wilsons of the world, the Keon Coleman's, the whole, damn near the whole defense. Even in the year when they won the 10 game, they had like dude from Georgia, the defensive end. Y'all can't remember his name quite right now, but y'all can put him in the chat. I think it was Jermaine. So yeah, transfer portal been booming for him. So next thing you know, Florida State goes into the season 13-0. The one day ACC barely lost their quarterback during the process to an FCS opponent in North Alabama, and everything went downhill from there. College football decided that we're going to put the best 4 team in the playoffs, and Florida State just ain't one of them. They've been protesting and crying about it ever since. They still haven't stopped. The snubbed and all that, blah, blah, blah. And boom, all the mercenaries decided that they were not going to play in the bowl game because what they came to Florida State to accomplish, they already did. They got their draft stock up. They know they're getting drafted. So boom, no need to play another game. Let's opt out the bowl game. They played against Georgia and got whooped 63-3. During that process, I told you guys, Florida State, the team that you saw play against Georgia, this was the team that you're going to see in the year of 2024. Nobody believed me. T2Y is biased. He hates Florida State. He just one of those fans that don't like Florida State. He's a Miami fan. They rivals, this and the third. He's biased. I can't take him serious. I can't take his opinion serious. He's just a troll. I told you guys, you watch the team play Georgia that was coming back this season. You watch guys like Former. You watch guys like Darrell Jackson. Darrell Jackson hadn't played all year, but he was cleared to play in that bowl game. And he did absolutely nothing. No production. Which is crazy to me that his name on Twitter was Big Production, because every week we watch this guy, it's little to no production. Boom. That's what you guys were getting. The team you saw play against Georgia and got beat 63-3. I told you guys this is a team that you're going to have in 2024. And Mike Norvell is going to have to go into the portal and make miracles. Here's the problem, though. When you make it to the postseason that long, all the players in the transfer portal are being, recruited and being asked to come to other teams and offered NIL and all the other stuff while you're in the postseason. So you don't have time to be out there trying to convince these guys to come play for you because you're in the postseason. The problem is all the other teams that already done play their bowl games, or probably didn't make bowl games. They started recruiting these guys ahead of time. They started getting these guys to commit to them. The top guys want to get out the portal quick. So obviously now your postseason over. You just got beat 63-3. Now you got to hit the portal and get what's left. Mike Norvell, the top guys was already gone. They was already out of the portal. They found teams like this. What is he left with? Alabama scrubs and rejects. I'm going to say it again. Alabama scrubs and rejects. Guys that couldn't hack it at Alabama, even though Nick Saban is gone. Earl Little is not it. I'm plain and simple. It's not it. I told you guys, when you went into the portal and you got all these guys, they was all potential pieces. You did not go in there and get production. You got potential. You got potential. He could potentially be this. He could potentially be that. This guy could do this. This guy could do that. You didn't see it yet. There was little to no production. Little to no production. Shout out Darrell Jackson. Little to no production. Then you went ahead and you got a legacy kid out of Georgia who hadn't done nothing at Georgia again. Marvin Jones, legacy kid. Okay, your daddy played here. He was a linebacker or whatever. This, that, and third. Legacy kid. You know, it is what it is. Came to Florida State and you saw little to nothing from him. Little to nothing at all. Can't get no penetration. Can't put no pressure on the quarterback. That is what you have on your defensive line. Now, I see a lot of you guys talking about all off season. You're going 13-0. You're gonna win the ACC. You're gonna be in the playoff. They can't snub you out because it's 12 teams now. Boy, did that backfire. So now, fast forward to game 1, week 1. I haven't seen Henry Lee in the chat since week 0. The week before, he was in here talking that trash, talking about Big Dummy Mario and all this other than that. Now, you go to Dublin. We see the fun you guys are having over there. You know, you're dancing. You're pretty much over there pumping your chest. Y'all got this. I see your recruits out there putting out, predictions and everything. Your reporters asking the recruits what the score is going to be and stuff like that. You know, the stuff that I do at the games. Ex-fans, what the score is going to be. And all of them predicting FSU to go over there and blow out Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech walked away with the win, and Florida State was left to celebrate the next day by sightseeing. Celebrating the ass whooping by sightseeing. That's tough. That's tough. So now you come back week 1 at home, your first home game of the year. The year before, when you was 13-1, Boston College nearly beat you. They ran the comeback, but unfortunately they came up short. You beat them by 2 points. And from then last year, I was telling you guys were winning games, but you just weren't getting the style points. You weren't blowing teams out. You weren't being very convincing compared to the other teams that they led in the playoffs. Y'all barely beat Miami with a freshman quarterback. Y'all barely beat Florida with like uncertainty at quarterback. They had Max Brown playing. And it was crazy. It was crazy. So you go to the ACC championship and you struggled against Louisville. You couldn't even put up points until you ran the Wildcat with Toafili. I told you guys it was going to be an epic meltdown for you guys this year. Nonetheless, all off season, they hyping you guys up. Everybody telling you, man, this year going to be special for y'all. Y'all going to go over the edge. And I sat here on this channel and I told you guys 13-1 is a hell of a season. You can only go up or down, and right now it's not looking good for y'all. I see the downfall. Y'all probably win 10 or 9 games. That's what I said. But, boy, I was wrong. You definitely ain't winning no 10 or 9 games. You'll be lucky to be 5-7 at the end of this one. Because let's just look at it. Memphis. Let's talk about Memphis. As a matter of fact, let me pull up some of these stats. Because, yesterday I watched some of this game, but I didn't get to watch the full of it. I watched this thing until like halftime because I went to the Miami Hurricane football game, So I watched some of this thing. And I'm like, man, Florida State is ass. Absolute ass. Ass with 2 S's capitalized. Damn. We finna beat the brakes off these boys. That's it, Florida State. Your season is over. Your season is done. You already 0-2 in ACC play, and now you lost to Memphis? Memphis? Come on, man. I'm like, man, these boys don't lie to me all off season. I don't listen to Florida State fans all off season told me how great this team was. I listened to Mike Norvell tell me this team was better than the one last year. Better than the one last year. And then I listened to lying ass Nick Saban. I knew Nick Saban was a liar for a long time now. He's still the GOAT. He's still the GOAT now. Don't get me wrong. But I knew Nick Saban was a big ass liar for a long time now. Because over there in Dublin, he went and saw that team practice. And he talking about they as good as anything in the country. They could be a championship caliber team and blah, 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 this and the third. I knew Nick Saban was a liar when he said that shit. Because look at this shit here. 0-3. 0-3. 0-3, Florida State. Y'all are 0-3. If there's a cut on your hand right now, I want to rub this in. 0-3. You guys are 0-3. You just was 13-1, and now you 0-3. You hot garbage, bitch. Y'all are pure, utter trash. Garbage, basuda. Y'all need to be thrown out. Thrown out. Literally, y'all stink. Y'all are, God damn. Y'all are bringing shame to the ACC. ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips, I need you to go ahead and let them go. Let them go. They are dragging us down. Florida State is a shame and an embarrassment to the ACC. Let them go. I don't care how much money it is. Let them go. Let them go right now. Let them go before they drag us down any further. Before they are 0-12 at the end of the season, let them go. Please let them go. Let them go. Let the lawsuit go. Let them go. Let them go before this conference ain't worth shit because of them. My goodness. What a horrible team. Mike Norvell is the finesse god. Mike Norvell is the finesse god. I repeat, Mike Norvell is the finesse god. Mike Norvell, your agent is top notch. Listen, if you need a good agent, contact Mike Norvell and ask him who his agent is. Because he sat there and convinced these people in Tallahassee that he could replace Nick Saban at Alabama. He sat there. The guy that can't even recruit out of high school sat there. The guy that can't even develop anything that he brought in. Look at Tate Rodemaker. Mike Norvell brought him in. He came in the same exact year with Mike Norvell. And my guy's at Southern Miss now. My guy's at Southern Miss. He looked like a freshman in year 4. But Florida State fans were so convinced. They were so convinced that, Alabama wanted to hire Mike Norvell. When you got a guy like DeBoer who had barely ever lost anything at Washington. Come on, man. How you fall for that? So you end up signing and giving this man an extension, giving him more money. Mike Norvell, if they wanted to get out of there, they can't do nothing for the next 3 seasons. Tallahassee is broke. Let's be honest. They remodeling the stadium. They to downsize it, to be honest with you, less fans charge more, I guess. That's got to be the marketing tool. Let's make the seats better. Let's make the whole stadium better. Let's downgrade the numbers from bring it down a little bit, higher quality, so less of the bum fans could go there. That's pretty much what they're saying. I ain't calling y'all fans bums, but that's pretty much what your administration is saying. Let's get the bums up out of here. Let's make the prices higher. Let's make the quality higher, so we can have less of the bums in here and more of the people that's willing to spend money. That's it. That's the marketing plan. So Florida State, y'all upgrade facilities, y'all that, and then you in like 20 different lawsuits. Hell, you probably suing Memphis right now for coming in there and beat y'all because you paid them $1 million and like $300,000 to come do what they did yesterday. Yes, Florida State played Memphis $1.3 million to come beat them yesterday. That's tough. My goodness, man. When I saw that shit, I was having a grand ass time. Now, Miami Hurricane fans, we are petty as hell. Because while we're at the stadium in the back, because of weather delay, because of lightning or whatever in the area, the war chant was spread around the whole stadium. every Miami Hurricane fan in the back of the stadium because of the rain and the lightning or whatever, when Florida State, when that clock hit 0, the whole stadium was, Florida State, y'all suck, whatever. 0-3. 0-3. Everybody at that point in the stadium knew that you guys was 0-3, and we was laughing our ass off. And I'm looking at it like, all right, 1 down, 1 to go. Yes, Florida Gators. We're going to get to y'all soon. Because Texas A&M put a nice little beating on y'all. But we're gonna get to y'all. So then I looked at the Memphis game. I'm like, okay, 20 to 12 could have been worse. Florida State offense is trash. Florida State defense is trash. Florida State can't score points. DJU is trash. They whole D-line is trash. They can't stop the run. Man, that's tough. And I'm looking at my team like, damn, we got Damon Martinez. We got Mark Fletcher. We got A.J. Allen. We got Chris Johnson. We got Jordan Lott. Oh, my God. We might run for 3,000 in that game. Never been done before, but we might do it. My God, we finna beat the brakes off these boys. I'm so mad at myself right now that I made this bet with Florida State last year about wearing they stuff to our games, whatever, our home games, wearing they little jerseys or whatever, because we lost to them last season. I'm so mad I made that bet now because they are hot garbage. And for some reason, everybody at Miami want to tell me how bad Florida State is, which I ain't complaining now. I ain't complaining. I kind of find it funny. They thought me wearing the shit to the games was going to be embarrassing for me. No, I'm a fucking troll. I'm enjoying every bit of this shit because I'm wearing y'all shit while y'all are trash, and everybody that's a Miami Hurricane fan is telling me how trash y'all is, which is what I do anyway, so I'm loving it. I'm having a grand-ass time wearing y'all crap, wearing y'all garbage bag to our Miami Hurricane games. Great-ass content. I got plenty of content for you guys. I have not uploaded yet. I will upload them sometimes, maybe today or tomorrow. Obviously, yesterday, the weather delay, kind of, messed things up. I would have dropped the Florida State video yesterday. I would have dropped the Florida Gator video yesterday. And I would have dropped the Miami video, recapping everything. But by the time I got home last night, it was almost 1 o'clock. So I'm like, I'll do all that tomorrow. Yeah. So obviously, let me pull this on the screen real quick so you guys could see the pure utter trash that is Florida State and what went down in that Memphis game yesterday, stat-wise at least. So as you guys can see, Memphis quarterback threw for 272 yards yesterday, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. You know what DJU did? 1 interception, no touchdowns. That's all. That's it. 1 interception, no touchdown. My guy threw for 201 yards. Who thought? Listen, all of you fans, all you Florida State fans that told me that DJU was better than Cam Ward, was a better fit than Cam Ward, all of y'all come to the front of the congregation right now. I need some holy water and a nice, big, fat, juicy glove so I can slap the shit out of y'all. Go back to Tallahassee, man. Come on, man. And all you Florida Gator fans, y'all too. Y'all told me that, Graham Mertz was this game changer. He was going to manage all the games. He was going to throw no interceptions and all that. And he was better than Cam Ward. And y'all would rather have him slap all y'all. My God. Mario Anderson, he underperformed in that game. That's the Memphis running back. He underperformed. 14 carries for 32 yards. Toafili, 4 carries for 30 yards. Why is Toafili not carrying? Oh, wait a minute. Florida State offensive line sucks. That's why Toafili ain't getting no carries. Their offensive line suck. And they play calling suck. If you can't block, why the hell do you run some of those goddamn option plays and shit? By the time your play developed, motherfuckers already in the backfield. What Florida State, y'all some dumpster idiots. Idiots. Big dummy Norvell. Shout out to her, Henry Lee. Big dummy Norvell. That's tough. The guy, what's his name? The Memphis receiver that led the day, 5 catches, 66 yards and a touchdown. While Florida State had Benson, whatever, he had 5 catches for 99, no touchdown. Florida State, come to think about it, y'all couldn't score on Memphis. Your kicker is your MVP. I told you guys this. In week 0, they kicker made a 52-yarder and a 59-yarder. If at the end of week 0, they would have gave out the Heisman Trophy, Florida State kicker would have been the Heisman. Florida State kicker is their MVP right now. That's it. All he does is kick field goals and punt the ball. And that's all Florida State offense is. Field goals and punting. Field goals and punting. This is, you know what? Let me make an excuse for Florida State real quick. Let me make an excuse for Florida State. Alex Atkins has been on probation for the last 3 games. That's their offensive coordinator. He's been on probation for the last 3 games, so obviously he hasn't been out there to call plays. That's the only excuse. I'm going to make an excuse for Florida State. Florida State, I'm going to make an excuse for y'all. Y'all are so fucking trash that I got to say Atkins ain't out there. Y'all offensive coordinator, that's why your offense looks so trash. Boy, I'm lying. I'm goddamn lying. I'm lying. I just lied to y'all. Like Florida State fans been lying to me all off season. I just lied to y'all.
That's a fucking lie.
These been so goddamn trash. These boys are so goddamn trash. At this point, Florida State, what days do they pick up trash in Tallahassee? I know down here where I live, they pick up trash on Tuesday and Fridays. What day do they pick up trash in Tallahassee? Because they should have picked it up right after the game yesterday. They should have picked it up right after the game yesterday. Hell, probably before the game. Man, this is terrible. Bringing utter shame to the ACC. ACC, let Florida State go. Let them go. Listen, go play that Disney movie, Frozen. The one my kids used to watch all the time. Let it go. Let it go. ACC, let Florida State go right now. Let them go. Let them go. Let them know. Memphis is 3-0. Memphis is goddamn 3-0. You know who's 0-3? Florida State. 0 and goddamn 3. Let them go. Let them go. Let them go. Scoring drive for yesterday. Memphis started out with a field goal. Then boom, they had a 6-yard pass from Sid. They made Sid look like he a goddamn All-American quarterback yesterday. He got a touchdown. Then Florida State came down with a field goal. Then Memphis got a 19-yard field goal. So they got, 13-3. 13-3. Then they scored another touchdown on Florida State with a 2-yard pass from Sid. Boom, 20-3. And it was over from there. Florida State scored a touchdown. And then they tried to get a 2-point conversion and failed. And after that, game over. Now, Florida State had the ball for the last drive. Let's just see what they can do to, finish this game off. Maybe DJU could have some miracle throws here and there, and they could get down there and score a touchdown and go for 2 points and tie it up and go into overtime. Nah. What you saw was pure utter trash from DJ. DJ being DJ. Receivers can't get open, and him just throwing balls everywhere. The last play of the game threw for the end zone. Boom, knocked it down. Game over. Memphis went into Dope Camp Stadium and crushed them boys. Not the teeth loose. Not they teeth loose. Oh man, listen, it's so much I gotta do. I gotta watch that press conference after that game. I gotta see the press conference. I gotta Mike Boomhauer Norvell. I need to see your press conference. I repeat, Mike Boomhauer Norvell. If you don't know who Boomhauer is, go watch King of the Hill. It's a cartoon that used to come on Fox. Go watch King of the Hill if you don't know who Boomhauer is. Because as soon as Boomhauer start talking, you will know who exactly Boomhauer is. That is Mike Norvell. Stuttermouth Norvell. I can't wait to hear that interview. Now, if you're looking down at the bottom of the ACC, all 17 teams now. The ACC got 17 teams, by the way. If you're looking down at the ACC, at the bottom of it, you'll find Florida State. They are 0-2 in conference. They are 0-3 as a team. You know, Miami hasn't even gotten into conference play, but Miami 3-0. Miami 3-0. Right now, Syracuse is 1-0. Boston College is 1-0. Oh, beat Florida State. You know, that's where the 1-0 came from. Virginia 1-0, and Georgia Tech 1-1. Georgia Tech beat Florida State and lost to Syracuse. Florida State is 0-2 in conference and at the bottom of the goddamn ACC after just a year ago winning the ACC. What a downfall. What a downfall. This is pure utter trash. Let's compare, though. Team stats. Memphis had a total of 337 yards. You know how much Florida State had? 100 less. 238 yards. 238 goddamn yards. How you only put up 238 yards on freaking Memphis? This is Memphis. This is not a Power 4 team. This is Memphis. Turnover. Florida State turned the ball over 3 times. Memphis only 1. Memphis had 19 first downs. Florida State had 11. How? Time of possession. Memphis 36, Florida State 23. How do you get dominated by your old team at your home? My God, when you were supposed to out-talent these guys at every freaking position. Tell me this ain't bad coaching. You guys sat here all season and told me what a genius Mike Norvell was until the games got played this season. All you Florida State fans are liars. Y'all some liars, man. I can't take y'all serious. I can't believe anything y'all say right now. And rightfully so, none of y'all are in the chat. None of y'all, all of you guys that sold me on Florida State, that told me how much of a good team y'all was, that was showing me all your schedule predictions, having you guys at 12-0, maybe with one loss to Notre Dame and all that. Where are you guys at now? I'm gonna call some of y'all by name because y'all were freaking in the chat. I haven't seen Young Seminoles since week 0. I haven't seen Harry Lee since week 0. I haven't seen what's his name? Middleton. I haven't seen him in here since week 0. Y'all used to run up in here all the time. Shout out to Montre. He stood in the paint a little bit, but I don't know if you want to stand in the paint no more. If you're an FSU fan and you listening right now, show yourself. Show yourself. Stand in the paint. Stand with your team. Stand with your coach. Y'all are pure trash. Garbage. Y'all got whooped yesterday in front of family and friends. That's tough. But you know what? It's going to get better for you. No, it's not. It ain't. Let's look at y'all. Let's look at the rest of y'all schedule. Let's do it, Florida State. Let's do it. Let's see if we can magically find a win for you guys. Look how colorful this is. LLL. 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 Major L's everywhere. Now, there was a competition between Miami and Florida State for this week. Basically, the next home game the next game for Florida State is Cal. The next game for Miami is USF. ESPN made it upon themselves to say, you know what? Miami and Florida State game are going to be on ESPN and ESPN2. They just hadn't decided which one they was going to play. Well, of course, Florida State being 0-3 made it very simple for them. Put Miami on ESPN primetime and put Florida State on the secondary back burner, ESPN2. Simple, plain and simple. Great decision, Put the team that's an actual football team on the main channel and put a team that, Cal is going to slaughter on ESPN2. Plain and simple. Cal versus Florida State. I got Cal winning. I don't know what the score going to be, but Cal going to win. They're going to be 0-4. 0-4. SMU, I don't know. Look, SMU is trash. Florida State is trash. I'm gonna pick the you know how they say pick the lesser evil. I'm gonna just say SMU in the goddamn game. I'm gonna just say after watching Memphis, I think SMU will do just fine. That's another L. Clemson, definitely an L. Definitely an L. Clemson, they lose to Clemson, plain and simple. Keep it moving. They're gonna lose to Manny Diaz at Duke. Even though Duke is trash right now, too. Duke is barely getting by. Duke is out here barely getting by. They'll get by Florida State, too. That's another L. Oh, Miami going to dog walk them. We're going to beat the brakes off them. We're going to commit all kind of sins in that game. All kind of sins. We're going to hell after that game. When that clock hits 0, we're going straight to hell with what we did to Florida State. That's going to be some torturing ass shit we do to Florida State. North Carolina going to beat them. Notre Dame going to beat them. Oh, week 11. Well, for them, it's going to be week 12 or something, or week 13, 14 or whatever, depending on bye weeks and all that crap. Whatever week it is, nonetheless. Charleston Southern. Florida State might get their first win with one game left to play. Now, the last game of the season, obviously, is the Florida Gators. They trash, too. But Florida State trash is on a whole different level. They are on a whole different level of trash. So I got Florida getting the win at Florida State. I got Florida State as of right now. Until they prove me wrong, Florida State is going to be 1-11. FSU, I got y'all at 1-11 right now. And I'd say the highest point for you guys in this game is possibly beating Duke and SMU. So you might end up 3-9. 3-9. My God, you guys are trash. Trash. Garbage bag over the head trash. Man, that's tough. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What a trash team. What a trash team. My God. 2024, boy, it's shaping up to be a great year. Now, let's talk implications, man. Let's talk consequences. Obviously, when you lose as bad as you do, when you're losing every week, when you can't find a win, here's what happened. The guys that are committed to you guys, they're going to decommit. They're going to flip. It's easy for other coaches to convince them not to stay with you guys now. Oh, that's what you want to go be a part of? That's what you want to go be a part of. You want to be a loser. I ain't take you up to be no loser, son. You want to go play with losers? You want their habits to rub off on you? That's what you're telling me? Come over here and win some games, man. You see what we doing. You want to go be a loser? Listen, they can't coach. Look at your position. Look what he's doing out there right now. That is going to be you. You want to be that? Tell me right now, son. If that's what you want to be, I will stop recruiting you right now. Pure utter garbage, basura, trash. Florida State. Welcome to 2024. My goodness. Now, obviously, in those games, a lot of stuff happened. Like I said, guys, I was fortunate to be at our games, at Miami game. Unfortunately, because of weather delay, it got out late. We started at like 6 when the game was supposed to be started at 3:30. I think the Gators had some delays also. But I do got some stuff, man, that I think is funny. I do got some little highlights from some of the stuff that I've seen from the Florida State game. My goodness. My goodness. So let's look at this one. Whoever is teaching Florida State players how to tackle, fire him. Just fire him.
Of the defense and just settle down and
Look
set
at
Hannigan
that.
without getting
Look
any
at number
pass rush.
7.
You give him that amount of
Run that back. I want y'all look at this guy right here. I want y'all to pay attention to him. Pay attention to him. Pay attention to this guy right here, number 7. Pay attention to him.
of the defense and just settle down and Seth Hannigan without getting any pass rush. You give him that amount of time.
What the hell was that? What the hell was that? Who is teaching these boys how to tackle in Tallahassee? Who's in charge of that department? All week, all I seen was that goddamn water gun, that super soaker. All I seen in practice was super soaker. They still in Tallahassee playing with super soakers. And then they wondering why they losing on Saturdays. In Tallahassee, playing with super soakers. Spraying the players in the face. Skeet, skeet. That's tough. That's tough. But then you wonder why you losing on Saturdays. Nobody can take y'all serious as a program. Nobody can't take Florida State serious as a program. Can't take. My God. I want y'all to see something else too. Check this out. You remember they tell you how you practice is how you're gonna look on how you practice is how you're gonna look, right? When you play in the games. Now, this is what practice looked like. I'm gonna show you what practice looked like, and I'm gonna show you what happens in the game. This is practice. Let's start with practice. And catch. All right, so you saw that. On air, nobody's guarding them. This is practice. Threw the ball to him. He dropped it. All right. Okay, cool. T2Y, where are you going with this? Where are you going with this? Hold on, I got y'all. Hold on. What? Wait, go back. Yeah, they tripping right now. Follow instructions, god dang it. So here we go. Man. All right. So, boom. So remember I told you guys, how you practice is how you're going to look on game day. How you do anything is how you do everything. Shout out to Mario Cristobal. Look at this. Remember now, on air, wide open, drop the ball. Get into the game, 3rd and 1. Key 3rd and 1 right here. As you guys can see, Florida State is in Memphis territory at like the 41-yard line. 1 yard to go, wide open. Had he caught it, first down, Florida State was already down 10-0 at the time. This is well needed right here. This is well needed. Here we go. All right. He goes out. And he does the same exact thing that he did in practice. He dropped it. Look where he's at. That's a first down all day. That's a first down all day. How you practice is how you play. Trash, basura, garbage. That's tough. Oh my God, you gotta love Tallahassee right now. Unless you're a Tallahassee fan, you gotta love Tallahassee right now. Man, you know what I haven't heard? I haven't heard anybody mention being snubbed out the playoffs anymore. I'm glad that this season is going the way that it is, because it sure did shut up a lot of Florida State fans. Sure did. Them boys are telling me all kind of stuff all off season. T2Y, if that was your team and you got left out, you'll be talking the same way we talking and blah, 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 this, that, and the third. Nah, I told you guys, I watch college football. I know what star points is. And when you ain't got no star points, that's how they determine. That's how college football is determined, by star points. If I'm 11-0 and you 11-0, they got to compare us some kind of way. And that's what star points come in. Texas, 13-1. Florida State, 13-1. Alabama, 13-1. Star points. Who they put in the playoffs? The two teams that looked it better. The two teams that looked it better. Plain and simple. Now, a tradition that Mike Norvell has started at Florida State, and we have not seen it happen at Florida State all season long. Breaking the rock. Breaking the rock. Florida State, every game that y'all won, y'all picked the MVP player and y'all had them broke the rock. Well, Memphis decided that they want to do their own breaking of the rock. That right there is Memphis breaking Florida State. Now, Memphis, listen, I understand you won, but Georgia Tech broke them a long time ago. Boston College broke them too. If y'all would have did it first, it would have been epic. Nah, I'm just playing, man. This shit was epic as hell. This shit was epic as hell. Break that goddamn rock. Break the hell out of that goddamn rock. You gotta love it. You gotta freaking love it. Florida State fans, do better. Do better. Oh, man. And I know some of y'all got season tickets, and I know some of y'all are those fans that'll win, lose, or draw, and y'all gonna show up and be there. You know, I don't know what to tell you guys. Man, if I tell you guys I'm not gonna enjoy this moment, I'll be lying to you. I would be lying to you. But 11-1, nah, 1-11. Y'all will talk about 11-1, 1-11. Goddamn it, 1-11. Poor little Charleston Southern. My goodness, that's terrible. Oh man, you know what? Let's get to the other foe in the state of Florida. Let's talk about the Florida Gators. Now, I was watching the ending of that Florida Gators game, and I got to say, Texas A&M, y'all disappointed me. Y'all almost did it, but you didn't. You should have dropped 40 on them. But you know what? Everybody can't be like the mighty Miami Hurricanes and go into the swamp and drop 40. Everybody can't be like us, so I understand. But nonetheless, you went up in that thing and you got a dub. You went in that thing and got a dub. Texas A&M, like I promised and like I predict, and it's documented out there. Honestly, I was a little bit off on the score. I had Texas A&M winning that thing 27-24. I was off. They dropped 33, which they should have dropped 40. And Florida scored 20 points, 3 more points than they did against Miami. I told you guys that Florida is a dumpster right now, but nobody listens. Florida is an absolute dump right now. We're going to talk about that dumpster right now. Panama Jack in the building. Probably the only Florida State fan I've seen all day. I'm not a season ticket holder, but I got 2 tickets to the SMU game. Oh, man, good luck. Don't tell me you're traveling all the way to Dallas to watch y'all go get a nice little whoop. Nice little whoop, you know. Is there any place in Dallas that you could go sightseeing? Because I know Florida State like to go sightseeing after they lose games. Damn. Texas A&M, man, the Aggies are 2-1, 1-0 in conference. Went into the swamp and drained that bit just like Miami. Not quite like Miami, but just went in there and got to win. Went in there and got to win. Texas A&M jumped out on them in the first half. 20-0. 20-0. This game was over at halftime. 20-0. Florida in the swamp is getting whooped 20-0. 20-0. My God. 20-0. The swamp. All season I listen to Florida Gator fans talk about how terrible the swamp is to play in. The crowd noise, the toughest place in college football in their opinion. They don't care nothing about that valley. They don't care about none of the other places that they was talking about. They say the swamp is the hardest and loudest place. 90,000 people. 90,000 people in the swamp. That's what they said. That's what they said. That's why it was going to be so hard to play in there. And then I watched Cam Moore go in there and shut them up in the first freaking quarter. And the swamp was dead the whole time to the point where my guy said there are teams in the Big 12, in the Pac-12 that he played against that was louder. That was louder. Cam Moore, I agree with you 100%. Because you shut them up in the first quarter. They weren't making no noise. Florida ain't making no noise. Texas A&M came in and them Aggies went to biting. That's tough. That's tough, Florida fans. Y'all are one of the worst SEC teams in the country. Y'all are mid to garbage, and I told you this. I told you was a bottom of the pack SEC team, especially with Billy Napier. None of y'all don't want to hear it. All of y'all was optimistic about Billy Napier this year. All you guys was so optimistic. Oh, Billy gonna do this. Oh, Billy gonna do that. This is gonna be his year. Everybody sleeping on Florida. Everybody making these predictions. Oh, Vegas got us at a 4.5 over and under. Oh, we're going to show them. We're going to go out there and prove them wrong. We had dumbass Florida fans, dumbass Florida Gator fans talking about 9-3, talking about possible 6-6 is a terrible season, and Billy needs to be fired if he don't win more than 7 games. We had dumbass Florida fans telling me that they could possibly make the playoffs. They were talking about a 3-loss Florida team with the schedule that they have should make the playoffs. A 3-loss Florida team with the schedule that they got should be in the playoff. That's the dumbass shit I had to listen to in the offseason. That's the dumbass shit. We got the best quarterback in DJ Lagway. Lagway is a freshman. He ain't been thrown into the fire yet. And as you guys can see, when he thrown into the fire, he ain't no God. He's out here throwing interceptions just like the rest of them. He's a freshman. He needed to develop. All week long, I listened to you Florida fans. Oh, Billy need to start DJ Lagway. Oh, Graham Mertz this and Graham Mertz that. Okay, go ahead and start him. He give us the best chance to win. He more athletic, blah, blah, blah. He's still going to go out there and make the same goddamn mistakes, and y'all still going to lose these goddamn games. Your offensive line is trash. Your defensive line is trash. Your linebackers are questionable. Your secondary is trash. Your defensive coordinator is trash. Y'all brought in this man, I don't even think this man 30 yet. I don't even think he is. How old is goddamn Armstrong? How old is Armstrong? This man ain't even wet behind the ear. Out there talking. He came in here strong, too. We're going to be the only defense to run this, and we're going to be the only defense to run that. We're going to be so powerful, and we're going to be able to do multiple this and multiple that. What? Billy Napier, that man is a young car salesman, and your dumb ass bought that Pinto. Your dumb ass bought that car with no goddamn engine in it. Your dumb ass bought that car with no battery in it. Your dumb ass didn't even see that there was a hole in the middle of that damn car. Damn, Billy, you stupid. Dog it. God dog it. Man, Florida and Florida State is pure dumpster juice. Florida right now could be 0-3, just like Florida State, had they not played a SCS in Stanford. Florida right now could be 0-3, just like Florida State. Prove me wrong. Somebody, anybody. I dare you. Man, let's get to the stats, man. I got some videos. I got some clips for you guys, too, from this Florida game. Oh, man. Talking about, listen, when Restrepo hit that spin move on Florida and broke homeboy ankles probably ended the season, you know, everybody was laughing and giggling. Well, Texas A&M broke some ankles, too. So I got some clips for you guys, but let's get into these numbers, man. Connor, I don't even think Connor Wigman played or whatever, but nonetheless, they didn't need him. Reed, what's this guy named? Reed. Marcel Reed, 11 for 17, 178, 2 touchdowns. My guy went into the swamp, playing his first game. If this is his first game, I don't even know where he's from. I just know that Connor Wigman was their quarterback. 2 touchdowns in the swamp. Threw for 178 yards. 11 for 17. If that's your first start, that ain't that bad. That ain't that bad. You got dinking and dunking Graham Mertz. Dinking and dunking Graham Mertz. Oh, pause. Stop. Hold on. Wait a minute. The interruption. Everything interrupted. Stop. My God. We have found Henry Lee. Henry Lee has made his first appearance since week 0. We just not good this year. We just not good this year, Henry Lee. Henry Lee, we just not good this year. You are Florida State, sir. Hold on. I need you to see this, Henry Lee. Henry Lee, y'all just not that good this year? No, you are trash, garbage, basuda, trash, dumpster juice, dumpster fire. That's it. That's tough. Y'all are straight garbage, booty. Oh, my God. Henry Lee finally made an appearance. It took y'all losing to Memphis. Wow. Man, all that offseason talk. Big dummy Norville. Big dummy Norville. All offseason I had to listen to this big dummy Mario talk. Big dummy Norville. Big dummy Norville. Goddamn. Anyway, back to our scheduled programming. The Florida Gators. So, Moss, the running back from Le'Veon Moss, went into the swamp, ran 18 carries for 110 yards. They should have let my dog he should have been the one that scored a touchdown to make it 40. They should have dropped 40 on Florida, to be honest with you. They should have dropped 40 on them. Florida's running back, Trey Webb, 6 carries for 37. 6 carries for 37. See, I gotta go back and watch this game. Cause why the hell? Where's Montreal? Where's this Heisman Trophy candidate of a running back that I was told about in the offseason? I tried to tell y'all ETN was better than this man. I tried to tell y'all ETN was better than this dude. That ETN was the only thing that made that offense spark last year. Montreal is a boring running back. He's a boring running back. He's not going to accelerate and boom, take it to the next level. He's not giving you them 20-yard, 30-yard runs that ETN would. He's not going to shift the momentum of any game like ETN would. This dude is just like his quarterback. He's just a game managing running back. That's it. Nothing spectacular. You guys are telling me this dude could be a Heisman candidate. Shaking my goddamn head. Miami gift wrapped this dude a 70-yard run. That's it. That's it. The whole season so far, you haven't seen nothing from a Montreal when it comes to real competition. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Where's the Heisman Trophy running back that y'all were talking about? Now, obviously, seeing Trey Webb, 6 carries, 37. I don't know if he got injured or not. I'm going to have to see. I'm going to have to go see. But Trey Webb is y'all leading running back in this game. 6 carries for 37 yards. That means y'all can run the ball. And if Graham Mertz only throw for goddamn 195 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, that means you couldn't pass the ball either. So now I got to see how much yards DJ Lagway threw for. See how much passing yards in total y'all got. Because, man, y'all offense is trash. Terrible. Florida, goddamn, Florida. Elijah Badger, 5 catches, 94 yards, and 1 touchdown. What happened to Eugene Wilson? Florida Gator fans convinced me in the offseason that Eugene Wilson was the best wide receiver in the state of Florida, if not the country. Florida Gator fans, I got to stop listening to y'all lying ass. Y'all lie too goddamn much. Y'all lies be too goddamn convincing. Y'all had me believing Trey Wilson, oh, he's Speedy Gonzalez. Zoom, he's gone. Y'all told me that Miami was going to come into the swamp and all we was going to hear was blur. What happened? I ain't hear a blur from a Florida receiver yet. I ain't heard none of that yet. What happened? Terrible. Lying ass Florida Gator fans. God damn, y'all lie just like Florida State fans. Terrible. My God. Texas A&M came up in that thing and dominated. First half. God damn, Florida. Elijah Badger got a touchdown. Chimes got a touchdown. So DJ Lagway threw a touchdown. And what's his name? Graham Mertz threw a touchdown. And that was it. Oh, and y'all had a running touchdown in garbage time. God damn, Florida fans. God damn. Is this what y'all supposed to expect in the swamp? Is this what Billy is supposed to give you guys in the swamp? I see why y'all want to fire him. I see it. I understand now. I understand. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been understood. I've been knew that y'all wanted Billy out of there. I've been knew Billy needed to go. But now some of y'all who was defending him that was very optimistic of what he's gonna do this season with a tough schedule. Now y'all see. I think the vision is clear for you guys. So Texas A&M came in that thing. Total yards 488 to Florida's 301. When you're getting out offense all the time, it's tough to win games. Then you turned the ball over 3 times. You turned it over 3 times. You know how many times they turned it over? 0. That's that Chris Brown shit. That's how many times I've been thinking of you. 0. They ain't throwing no interceptions. They ain't fumbled the ball. That's tough. Oh my God. I got a Gator spotting. I see a Gator in the chat. Shout out to Sam for coming in here and standing in the paint. It took Henry Lee almost 4 weeks, but Sam in there with the Gators. Sam up in there bit. Oh, you know what? Let me put the. Should I? No. You know what? I'm gonna put a link in the chat. Yeah. I'm gonna put a link in the chat. Let me go ahead. I've just been rambling on and on about these 2 sorry ass teams for the past hour. So let me put the link in the chat for anybody that want to chime in. I would love to get y'all thoughts on this, especially Henry Lee and Sam. I would love to get y'all thoughts on these 2 garbage gutter juice teams. But anyway, Texas A&M time of possession 37 minutes, almost 38 to Florida's 22. Time of possession like that kind of split, you can't win no football game. Your defense is out there for entirely too long. They gassed. 27. I repeat, 27. First down.
Hello?
For Texas A&M. What's up, man?
You can hear me, T2I?
Yeah.
What's good?
Man, you tell me.
All right. You already know what time it is with me. First off, because I wasn't ducking you last week or 2 weeks ago with the Miami game. A lot of stuff popped up, and I wasn't able to get on live like that with you because I wanted to join that live that night that you went live. But I think what I'm about to say to you, you're gonna dream that every Florida fan and Florida State fan would say stuff like this more often. And I'm telling you this not from a fan perspective. I'm telling you this as of what reality really is right now. And I hate to say this because it burned my tongue to say this shit. But Miami is the premier team in the state of Florida. Florida State, Florida, we are by far the worst programs in the country that's a Power 5 team. Well, Florida State, not really a Power 5 team, but we are by far the worst teams in college football. I knew Florida State. We knew Florida State was going to be trash. We knew this. We knew the Gators was going to be kind of but we didn't know it was going to look like this. I'm going to be honest with you, because I know I talk trash and stuff about my Gators, but I didn't expect that. I knew losses were coming. We knew losses were coming, but we did not expect blowout after blowout before week 4. Are you telling me a backup quarterback who hasn't been on campus 3 months comes into the swamp and damn near goes a perfect percentage? I didn't see not one goddamn tackle that made me say, you know what, they've been practicing. I didn't see not one damn scheme that made me say, you know what, they look like they was trying to beat this team. I didn't see one play on offense that looked like, you know what, we practiced hard this entire week for this team, and this is supposed to how it's supposed to look like. Not one thing. You want to know what makes this even worse? Miami truly, and this is you can snip this, cut it out however you want. Miami got Billy Napier fired because y'all exposed him. And I'm a Gator fan, and I'm telling you that because he had us convinced that this team was better than last team, and that this team was more disciplined. We had 12 penalties in the last 2 games. He said this team was more physical. I've never seen a linebacker and a D lineman at the same time have both their feet up in the fucking air. Never. And I gotta give credit when it's due to Miami. I gotta give credit to Miami. Y'all showed every reason why y'all are a better program. Every reason. So I can't say nothing about my Gators. I'm gonna be honest with you. Every Florida Gator fan, especially Florida State fan, shut the hell up for the next 12 months. Shut the hell up. I don't want to hear nothing about no swamp atmosphere. We got our ass kicked twice. As of right now, we've been outscored, 70, almost 80 to barely 40 points in the swamp?
Damn.
All right. I don't understand that. And it's not even, you know what? I do understand that. I completely do understand it. You know what it is? It is Billy Napier. And I knew after that Miami game, I'm gonna be honest with you, we knew after that Miami game, go ahead and start opening up that checkbook and start asking Lane Kiffin what he wants.
Oh my God! Y'all kidding me with this shit.
And I know, and it's crazy because
let me ask you one question, because I see a lot of Gator fans doing this Lane Kiffin talk. Why would Lane Kiffin leave Ole Miss, where he's got a bag man behind him, to come to Florida? That's the only question I got.
You said why would he?
Why would he?
Okay, I can give you 3 good reasons why he would have. You ready?
I'm listening.
1, he said for the last 5 years that he wanted to coach for the University of Florida. This isn't just me talking up my ass. You can, anybody in the crowd or in the chat, you can Google this. He has stated he wanted to come back to the state of Florida and coach, i.e., either Miami if the opportunity was presented, or Florida if the opportunity was presented. The only school he didn't want to go to or even consider was Florida State, if we're being honest, but I digress. That's one reason. 2, the man has a lot of ties to the state of Florida. He got a lot of family down here.
Okay, let me cut you off. 1. Are you guys wanting to pay his buyout?
Yes.
How much is
Yes.
his buyout?
$27 million, if I'm not, no, 26. And I know you like, well, what? That's a lot of money.
No. That's Billy's buyout, right?
Yes, Billy's buyout.
Now, are you
Lane
guys
Kiffin,
willing-
this is last year on that contract, actually, and he didn't ask for an extension.
Okay. All right.
And I get it, because I know you had every Gator fan say Lane Kiffin or Judd Fish or Eli Drinkwitz or all these other big names.
Yeah,
But
I've seen the list.
And I know, but I am telling you from not just as this is take the fan part out of it, because we speaking what is and what isn't, like facts. He's the perfect fit. He's never gonna win a championship at Ole Miss. Now I know y'all like, well, they got a raw team this year. They have only won 10 games, twice in the last 20 years? That was last year? And the year before that?
He has made history there. 110, 111.
You're right.
They've never won double digits before Lane Kiffin. I think if you guys come swinging, Lane, I think Ole Miss is going to swing back.
I don't think Ole Miss got the money for that. And even if they do, hear me out. Even if they do, Lane Kiffin has already shown that if he don't want to be there, he'll leave. He did the same thing at Tennessee. He left Tennessee and went to USC, or left USC to went to Tennessee. Whichever way he did it, he left one Power 5 school to go to the other because he felt like it was a better opportunity.
Man, that I could say he always done that. Whether it's Tennessee, whether it's Ole Miss, whether it's USC, FIU, all of them. I can see that.
And I'm not saying now again, T2, because I'll be real with you if it's something there. I'm not just saying this because it's a want. Like, this is something that's already in motion. I wouldn't be surprised if it went something like this. Billy is fired before Halloween-ish, and they're gonna the only coach on our staff that got any type of head coaching experience, whatever the hell that guy name is, I don't even know. He's so goddamn unknown. They're gonna let him intern until the end of the season. We're gonna get 40, 50, and 60 burger on the way. And when Lane Kiffin gets to Gainesville, it won't be in a Gainesville Gator jersey. It's gonna be in that Ole Miss Rebel jersey, and he gonna have a field day on our team. It might look like we might look like Furman when they played them. Seriously, because I thought after watching everything that, you know what, the defense looked like y'all just picked up from last year in the worst way.
Let me ask you this. Don't you think you guys, after these two losses, you guys are overreacting?
No.
Because think about it. All off season, most people have predicted you guys to lose these games already. They predicted you to lose Miami. Some said that some went y'all way, but most of them predicted y'all to lose that game. Most people predicted y'all to lose against Texas A&M also. Y'all was underdog even in that one. They predicted y'all to lose a lot of these games.
Let me give you the reason why it's not going according to based off what you're saying. You're right. They did have us predicted to lose those games. You're 100% right.
Yeah, 4.5 is y'all over and under.
You said what?
4.5. That's what they made y'all over and under.
I think Sanford might be our only game.Maybe Florida State.
Hold on, I gotta pull up y'all schedule too. Shit.
I don't think we beat another team. Maybe Florida State. Because they the only team that look worse.
Exaggerate, man. You probably could beat Mississippi State and UCF.
UCF is undefeated right now, and they look really good. And they're gonna be excited to come to Gainesville and beat our ass with no head coach. Because I don't think Billy Napier make it to that game.
So you got Mississippi State this upcoming week.
Florida has always struggled against that team. First off, we're not a away team. I don't know what kind of team we is now, but we're not an away team. We can't play on the road.
Hear me out. And this is going to be terrible for you as a fan to hear. I'm gonna give you these two next wins. I'm gonna just give you those. But Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, and Florida State. I'm gonna give you Florida State too. But damn, Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss. Those are all losses.
Actually, let me do you one better. You ready for this one?
Go
Because
ahead.
based off of analytics and the stats right now, as of right now, Tennessee, Texas, Georgia, LSU are more likely to score almost 50 points on us in those games.
Damn.
And
God,
Georgia,
won't he do it? Won't he do it, God? Please, won't he do
and
it?
Georgia just scored 13 points on Kentucky. That's even worse for Florida because they played the
We
number
gonna talk
one
about that.
team. They played the number one team in the country really close, and they
I
could
need
have won
Sarge.
that game.
I need Sarge to bring his ass up in here for that one.
They too busy arresting people, and it's to the point now with Florida that you got Gator fans openly saying and going online saying, I would rather have speed demon track hawk racing and drug cartel and players that's gonna win games on Saturday than have these good, sensible, reasonable pushovers. We got Big Dez, number 21 on the defensive line. What is he? 6'7", 6'8", 450. I've been a Florida fan my whole life. Listen to me. And to all the other fans out there of your respective team, except for Florida State, because y'all worse than us. But to everybody else that's listening to this, listen to me. There has never in the history of the University of Florida been a worse team than the University of Florida 2024 right now. 2023 was the worst. 2024 look even worse. We've been saying for 3 years straight, it cannot get any worse, right? Right? It got to get better a little bit. Come on, we got everything he asked for. Can't say you don't got no money. You at a prestigious school in the SEC. You can't say, well, we don't know what winning look like. You got championship banners in your stadium. You can't say you don't have no money to recruit. You're part of the biggest. You are literally in the richest athletic state in the country. There is no other state other than Texas that's competing with you with athletes.
Texas
And let me say this one more thing. The reason why I said all of that, look at Miami. Miami owned the state of Florida these past two recruiting cycles. And what I mean by that, y'all got a lot of players from the state of Florida, and y'all got them to stay home. Some players y'all got here and there that was out of state. I'm not 100% sure if y'all offensive linemen are from out of state or if they went to IMG, but I do know y'all got 5 stars across the line of scrimmage.
Mic check.
What's up?
Hey, what y'all looking for me for, dog?
We about to get into the Georgia game in a second.
Y'all looking for me like we lost, man.
You might as well.
You damn near did.
Might as well. I said might as well.
I think your reign at number 1 in this season just ended. It just ended.
That's good.
Yeah, Texas probably gonna take number 1.
That's
Texas
good.
Probably
That's actually good for us.
You right, but we're not talking about Georgia. We know y'all gonna win. Y'all know how to win. Apparently.
Yeah,
and
we know how to win. We do what we got to do to win.
What's so sad? I'm gonna tell y'all something that I'm pretty sure most of y'all, not you T2R, or some people might know, but they was just talking about the Florida Gator alumni, whoever the boosters, one of the coaches from Georgia. Yeah, was it y'all defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, or something?
Oh,
like
Coach
that?
Schumann. Nah, they wanted Coach Schumann, the defense coordinator.
Yeah, they was talking about he was the second or third potential candidate for Florida, and I didn't say he would take it. I'm not saying, I'm not insinuating none of that, but my opinion, because they said, they was like, why would he take it? Because he's very comfortable with making what he makes right up under Kirby Smart. You're gonna win championships. You don't know what losing really look like. Then you're gonna go to Gainesville and you're gonna go to Gainesville and forget how to win. No, I don't think he take that. That's why I said Lane Kiffin, because Lane Kiffin is more of a, I see that as a challenge. Like y'all gonna respect this, what I got going on.
Well, the good thing about Schumann is he's young. A lot of people don't know. He's like 32, 33
years
old.
I didn't say he was the number 1 recruiter. He doesn't have to be the number 1 recruiter. Hell, Billy Napier wasn't even the best recruiter in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
I want y'all all to know this, because somebody I know can't no Gator fan tell me this. Have any one of y'all ever seen our O-line coaches?
No.
I saw him in the off season.
Anyone?
I saw him in the off season getting down and dirty.
Offensive line coaches. Has anybody seen the defensive coordinator?
Nope.
I'm talking about at all this year.
Nope.
I'm just saying.
I saw all that off season antics.
I'm just
I saw your coach out there getting down on the machines and shit. I saw your coaches yelling at players, and all y'all fans was like, they was all hyped about it. Like, oh shit, our coach is yelling at players again. Oh, we about to be something this year.
Yeah, we heard that.
I saw Chris, what's his name, Harris, y'all DB coach, Will Harris. I saw him yelling at DBs, and all the fans were like, "Oh, we back." I was like, "Damn!" So I guess if you yell at your players, your team is back. Damn, that's tough.
Did y'all see Kirby snapping last night?
Yeah, I also saw Georgia win.
I didn't get to see that.
Yeah.
I was too busy at the game where Miami beat Ball State 62-0.
That's Ball State, bro. Come on now.
Hey, it'd be like that. Stanford put up 7 on y'all. So
yeah, you're right. You're right. Against a trash ass Florida Gator team. This ain't nothing.
Last week when we was listening to y'all Florida Gators space, there was a guy in there by the name of Q. He was crying about how y'all beat Stanford, saying y'all only put up this much, and yet the game was 14-0 at half, and that ain't Florida standard, and he was crying about the win. He might have been right.
He wasn't the only one. I was pissed off that it was only 14-0 at half. Do you want to know what's the scariest thing about all of this? Do you know the same thing Miami defensive coordinator said about Billy Napier when he said,
four or 5 plays.
No, you wrong. He said 6 plays. He said out of the first 10 plays, Miami already knew the first 6. Yeah. Do you know with Sanford?
Okay, I'll tell you this. He said if you watch Florida, they got these 6 plays that you're gonna see show up because they watch the tape, and those 6 plays always showed up in the game. So they had plans for those 6 plays every single time. And once you shut those 6 down, Florida was dumpster juice after.
Exactly.
It's just a predictable offense. That's the problem.
He went a little bit more and said the defense kind of had a miscue when they let Montreal ran for that, so we gave him that. I'm not even
take that away. You can't. The whole issue was you don't have an offensive coordinator. Man, the average human don't know 30 plays in their head or on that piece of paper. Man, you need a coordinator that can see from a different perspective. You down there getting your ass whooped and calling plays? Come on now. I'm gonna be real with
somebody in the box.
For the first time in my life, I think I'm not gonna watch the Tennessee or Georgia game at all. That Georgia game, it might be 40-0 in the first quarter.
Don't be scared of Georgia, man. They out here putting up 13 points, 14 points on teams.
Yeah, but the team that they barely beat gonna beat the hell out of us. We can't beat Kentucky. And that's the first time I ever said that in my life. My Gators can't beat Kentucky.
Man, Georgia out here putting up 14 points on team. Don't be scared of them, man.
I'm pretty sure Georgia put up something on y'all.
Ooh, we ain't scared of Georgia now. We are not scared of Georgia.
Okay.
Man.
All I'm saying is,
hey, Sarge, you there?
Yeah, what's up, man? You sound like Florida State right now, bro.
I just seen y'all put up 14 points, man. Fuck
I know.
I might make the Cardinals Florida State mistake, but fuck it, we want Georgia.
Hey, P2Y, you go end up being 63-3 like Florida State. Remember what they said?
Hey, tell Georgia, hey, we'll catch y'all in the playoffs. Line that shit.
Okay, T2Y. Will y'all lose to Georgia? Do y'all play Georgia Tech this year?
Yeah.
Okay, so you saying we want Georgia?
We want Georgia. You know what? That's gonna be the measure. That's gonna be the measuring stick right there. We're gonna see.
Here we go. Hey, put a 1 in the chat.
We're gonna see how y'all play Georgia Tech versus how we play them, and then I'll be
Hey,
like, oh,
hey, put a one in the chat. Hey, we done seen this movie before. Put a one in the chat if you're a Miami fan and you want Georgia.
I'm gonna say
Put a
fuck
one
it,
in the
man.
chat.
I'm gonna say fuck it. We want Georgia, goddamn it. Shout out to Florida State.
Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat. You know, Young Seminole did the same thing.
Hey man, we got a real team. They don't.
Young Seminole said we want Georgia 63-3. Then he got beat at Ireland. Shout out to Young Seminole though.
Speaking about them 60 burgers though, Miami dropped one yesterday, 62-0. Cam Moore 19 for 28, 346 yards, 5 touchdowns, jumped out the game early. You know, no touchdowns for Ball State. They quarterback threw a pick. AJ Allen, great game yesterday. 7 carries for 104 yards and a touchdown. Wow, you know.
Hey, LM say they want Georgia. Who else? Kendrick in the chat say he want Georgia. He put a bunch of ones in the chat.
Lenore's went a little bit further and said Georgia straight garbage.
I know, right? Shout out to Lenore's, man. Ain't he an FSU fan?
Nah. Lenore's a Miami fan.
Lenore's a Miami fan. So Miami want Georgia now?
Oh man, come on, line them up. Line them up. Line them up. We'll use take as the measuring stick.
Oh man.
5 carries for 13 yards. That's what Ball State running back had. He also had 4 catches for 41 yards. Damn. Jacoby George with 6 catches, 109 yards and a touchdown. Jacoby George went off yesterday. He got a lot more targets than normal. But Miami straight dominated the whole game. Time of possession, Miami 32. Call it 33 because it's 59 seconds. First downs, Miami 31, Ball State 9. Ball State had a total of 115 yards. Miami had 750. Ball State turned the ball over. Miami didn't. Straight domination. Handled business. Took care of the cupcake the way we were supposed to. Not much to talk about here, guys. The whole team did phenomenal. Plain and simple. That's why I'm glad we saved Miami for last because yesterday was a performance that, was delayed by weather. But nonetheless, Ball State got them hands yesterday. Miami straight gave Ball State them hands. Yeah, but Georgia, let's get into the nitty gritty of this Sunday show. Where we talk about college football, all the games, not just Miami, not just Florida State, and not just the Florida Gators. Miami on top. Miami back hurt right now, by the way. We carrying the whole state of Florida. We 3-0. We looking like a freight train out there that ain't stopping no time soon.
Y'all a freight train, T2I? What?
We ain't stopping no time soon. We knocking everything out the way. So please don't get on our track.
Okay. Somebody record T2I said Miami is a freight train.
Stay off our tracks if you don't want to get your shit straight. All right. So let's run through these games, man. Friday night started off. Kansas State knocked off Arizona 31-7. Not much to talk about there. It is what it is. We already talked about Miami. Sarge, please explain to me why was there a field goal battle between Georgia and Kentucky?
Because nobody has scored a touchdown on us in 4 games.
Obviously, it looked like y'all can only score a touchdown in this game. So what is so great?
Nobody has scored a touchdown. That's 16 quarters. Nobody has scored a touchdown on Georgia in 16 quarters. Let that sink in.
So please explain to me what is so tough about this Kentucky defense that y'all can't score points.
Hey, we just decided we didn't want to score, man. We knew we could win with 13 points.
Wait, time out. What the fuck did I just hear? Y'all decided that y'all just didn't want to score.
Yeah, we decided we did.
A bullshit.
Hey, T2I, can you name the last team that scored a touchdown on Georgia?
I can't, but you can't sit here and tell me y'all just decided y'all didn't want to score points.
Hey, we ran the ball, we bled the clock, we got our touchdown, and then we played defense. That's what we did.
That ain't what happened. That ain't according to this score. Y'all scored that touchdown in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we scored it in the fourth quarter. Yeah.
So you mean to tell me? Wait, were y'all down in this game?
Yeah, we were down 6-3 at halftime.
6-3 at halftime. So 9-6 going into the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Did y'all score that touchdown before or after they scored the field goal?
We scored it before.
Oh, okay. God damn. Oh man, Demetrius, I might have to agree with you. Georgia overrated.
Hey, 45-2 in 47 games, Demetrius. Let me know when your team does that.
Now they did mention an interesting stat. I think they say y'all like 28 straight SEC wins, not including the Alabama win, by the way.
That's 28 straight SEC wins. That's like 41 straight regular season wins. 45 out of 47. I mean, the list goes on, man. I mean, we just passed Oklahoma. I think we like third all time in regular season wins. So.
Oh snap! There it is, right there. BB said it. Kirby to Gainesville.
Oh, BB begging for Kirby, dog. BB will kill somebody to get Kirby right now because your boy Billy is trash, man.
Yeah, that's tough. So Kirby holds on once again. This is what we see from Georgia time and time now. They'll play some of these SEC scrubs and there'll be one possession games and came down to the last second and stuff like that. Man, that's tough.
Yeah, that's what happens, man.
So
a win is a win.
So Kentucky giving y'all the game that they gave. Florida's scared of them now.
Well, that's the thing. Like last week they played trash. This week when we come into town, they play their best game they done played in 3 years, and they still couldn't win. You know what I'm saying? They got a D tackle that's 340 pounds. They got some big D linemen. They got some big O linemen. They ran for like 180 yards last night, but they still could not win.
So you said that Georgia just didn't want to put up points in this game. So I guess South Carolina was just too overzealous with putting up points. They beat them 31-6.
Yeah, 31-6. But they turned the ball over like 4 times that game. This game they didn't have no turnovers.
Man, that's tough right there. So Kentucky is a formidable opponent.
Kentucky played their best game they done played ever almost and still could not beat us. That's the funny part.
So Kentucky brought out the worst in y'all.
No. Kentucky brought out the best in us because even though we was down for 3 quarters, we still ended up getting a win.
Man, Carson Beck threw for 160 yards, man. What the hell? Y'all, come on. They running back ran for 98 yards.
Yeah, they ran for 180 altogether. I mean, they got a good team. They ran the ball. They kept the ball. The time possession was their way. They did what they had to do to win, and they still lost. That's the funny part.
I'm sorry, man, but I think a little bit of expose got happened yesterday. Georgia on the chopping block.
I've been hearing that for 3 years, T2. It's all good. Georgia got exposed. Georgia ain't gonna win nothing.
Who Georgia's opponent?
Georgia not the best team. We've been hearing that since 2021. So
who's y'all next opponent?
We got Bama in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, Bama got this. Oh, y'all on the bye week this week?
Yeah, we're on the bye week.
Take Bama and lay the points.
Okay, take Bama. Hey, you heard it in the chat. Take Bama in the points.
All right. Speaking of the SEC, Texas handled business against UTSA. 56-7. Nothing really to talk about. Manning, 226, 4 touchdowns. Isn't I think what's his name is hurt. But hey, Manning went out there and handled business. Tyler Van Dyke also with a knee injury against Alabama. Alabama beat Wisconsin 42-10. By the way, handled business. Miro had like 5 touchdowns. 3 of them was throwing. He only threw for 196 yards, but that's all he needed. He also rushed 14 times, 72 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So it was the Milroe show yesterday against TVD and them boys. Unfortunately for TVD, he had a knee injury, so not quite sure what that means for him in this season. Is it that Is it that serious, or is it just a little minor and he'll be back? But yeah, that's tough. Prayers up for TVD. Former Miami Hurricane quarterback, nonetheless. Ole Miss handle business. SEC versus ACC. Number 5 team in the country, 40-6 against Wake Forest. Wake Forest only scored 2 field goals in this game in the first half, and they were shut out in the second half. Ole Miss handling business. This is one of the reasons why, the Florida Gator fans are watching Ole Miss coach Lane Kiffin, and they want him bad, and stuff like this. So hey, shout out to Ole Miss, man. Dart out there, 377 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Henry Parrish, former Miami Hurricane, former Ole Miss, back to Ole Miss. 23 carries, 148 yards, 2 touchdowns. Plain and simple, just a total domination by Ole Miss over Wake Forest, one of the worst ACC teams in the country right now. Sticking to the SEC versus ACC, you had Boston College versus Missouri. Boston College hung in there, but unfortunately they lost this game by 6. It was only down by 3 at half, and then in the second half they put up 7, while Missouri put up 10. So there you have it, man. Missouri's quarterback threw for 264 yards and a touchdown. Their running back had a hell of a day. 22 carries for 121 yards. That's what Noel had. And the receiver, 6 catches, 117 yards, and a touchdown. That's Burden. So can't lose games like that when your offense is clicking like that. Kent State got the bejesus beat out of them. 71-0. 71-0. I keep saying Kentucky. Tennessee handled business. 71-0. Nothing to really talk about there, folks. We're gonna keep it moving. Oregon finally this season against a rival opponent in Oregon State. They finally had a complete domination, whatever you want to call it. They totally embarrassed their opponent. They showed that they are a top 10 team for the first time, this season in week 3. 49-14 against Oregon State. Total domination. Dylan Gabriel, their quarterback or whatever, 291 yards and 2 touchdowns. Their running back had a nice day, 12 carries for 86 yards, 2 touchdowns. And their wide receiver, Johnson, had 7 catches for 110 yards. So great day for Oregon. Keeping it moving. Former Pac-12, conference or whatever, Utah versus Utah State, another rivalry game. Utah showed that they're the dominant factor, and they won 38-21. Not much to see there. We all know Utah is definitely on a whole different level than Utah State. Oklahoma State, 45-10 against Tulsa. Bounce back week for Oklahoma State. Last week had a close game where they had to come back from behind and beat Arkansas. This week they dominate their opponent. Their quarterback threw for 396 yards, 4 shy of 400, 5 touchdowns and 1 interception. Their running back, had a hell of a day too. 10 carries for 53 yards, averaging about 5 yards a carry. And wide receiver, seven catches, 174 yards, 2 touchdowns. So total dominating day for Oklahoma State. Oklahoma gave Tulane the business. Basically, started off strong in the first half and finished the same way. 34-19, 15-point win. Quarterback kind of had an up and down day with 169 yards with 1 touchdown and an interception. So definitely got to clean that up on his half. He also rushed for 14 times for 97 yards, 3 shy of 100, and 2 touchdowns. So quarterback had a hell of a day on the ground, more so than in the air. Their wide receiver, 7 catches for 80 yards. So total domination, Oklahoma. Nail biter came down to the end. Obviously, South Carolina missed the field goal to tie this up to go into overtime. But South Carolina versus LSU was a hell of a game. I was going back and forth trying to watch some of it while I was in the weather delay at Miami yesterday. But, man, nice win for LSU on the road. You know, could have been devastating for Brian Kelly had they not, won this game. The LSU fans probably would have came down on them. Wait, pause. Yeah, but Nesmire had a hell of a day. 285 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. But the SC running back had to put on a show too. 19 carries for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. But LSU just, hang on for just one of those nail biters. And South Carolina, unfortunately for them, they just couldn't get over the LSU, the Bama, the Florida, the top of upper echelon of teams in the SEC at the time. Florida is no longer in that list, by the way, so don't get it twisted. Michigan bounced back this week after their loss against Texas. Michigan 28-18 against Arkansas. Struggle game for them. Jumped out in the first half real quick, but let's be honest. 15 points for Arkansas State in garbage time. This game could have been way worse than it was, but Michigan, took their foot off the gas. Notre Dame, after losing to Northern Illinois last week, came back with a vengeance against Purdue. Total domination, total beatdown, never took their foot off the gas. 66-7. Marcus Freeman had a lot to prove, had a lot to go out there and show. Man, that's tough. Not much to say. Purdue just got the wrong end of, the anger, the revenge of Notre Dame. That's tough. That's tough. Nebraska went out there. Nebraska is 3-0, guys. Nebraska is 3-0. Man. 34-3 against Northern Iowa. Not much to talk about there, but Nebraska is actually ranked in the top 25, and they're 3-0. They're 3-0. Now, I don't see the top 25 getting shooken up a lot this week. I might see like Georgia dropping from number 1 to some probably, maybe no further than 4. No further than 4, but they definitely probably will drop after that close win against Kentucky. But I don't see them dropping too far. I do think that Texas will jump them and be the number 1 team in the country. Not quite sure how the rest of it will shake out. A lot of teams played pretty good in the top 25 this week. Everybody pretty much won their game that was supposed to. Didn't see any upsets, didn't see anything to really shake up the top 25 that much. Definitely think Tennessee is going to get a huge rise, even though Kent State is really not that great of an opponent or whatever. Ole Miss handled business. Missouri was right behind there. They played a top 25 team in Boston College. So, winning by 6, they're not going to get penalized that much. So the top 25 this week might not move that much. Alabama handled business also. So outside of Georgia, with the close win, the 13-12 against Kentucky in the top 25, I don't see much shaking up. Miami handled business at number 10, 62-0. So no penalties coming our way. Kent State, they're 14. They beat Arizona. They were 20. So, yeah. Let's go into the games, though, that got played yesterday in the ACC. Real quick, just a quick recap of those games that got played. Obviously, Miami handled Ball State. We already talked about that one. Wake Forest took a beating. Missouri beat Boston College. Florida State, of course, we talked about that one first. Got humiliated, monkey stumped by Memphis. Mike Norvell's old school before he came to Florida State. Florida State is 0-3. Memphis is 3-0. Let that sink in. Memphis went out there from the beginning of the game, straight dominated. The second play of the game, Florida State fumbled the ball right back to Memphis. Unfortunately, Memphis couldn't capitalize with a touchdown. They had to settle for a field goal. But that was the kind of day that Florida State basically was going into. 13-3 at half, that kind of tell you. Florida State never led in this game, and that's tough. Memphis, man. Shout out to Memphis. Memphis didn't score in the fourth quarter, and it didn't even matter. It didn't even matter. Florida State is that much of a dumpster fire right now. That's tough. How you get beat by Memphis? NC State handled business against LA Tech. They beat them 30-20. 10-point win, a little bit too close. But if you know NC State the past couple of weeks, you know they've been struggling. Georgia Tech with a dominant win, but don't put too much thought in it. This is VMI SES teams or whatever, 59-7. So don't put too much thoughts into that. The backyard brawl. Now, this is one of those games I told you guys I would stay away from. I think it could have went either way. And nonetheless, Pitt came out with a victory against West Virginia, 38-34. Pitt had a hell of a day. Quarterback threw for 303 touchdowns. And, you know, they had quite a day. I definitely got to go back and check this game out. Obviously, rivalry game, pretty heated between the fan base. So this week, you know, one of those games that when I have some downtime and I'm probably a little bored, I might want to watch. Definitely going to go back and watch the Florida State versus Memphis game to make sure that anything that I miss, I seen. And, yeah. Oh, yeah. Before we go back any further, let me run through some of the clips that I did see for you guys. So let me bring you guys a little bit of entertainment factor. I want you guys to watch this play against Florida. This play against Florida right here. This is Texas A&M versus Florida. I want you to watch Florida get demolished. Watch this. Now, obviously, you can tell where the ball is going. My guy right there about to get blurred. Like, watch this man. See, that was Florida fans was thinking. They thought he was going to go there. Nope, my guy's wide open on the other side. Boom. Run across the mid, touchdown. Easy. Everything against the Florida Gators is easy. That's tough. I got some more clips for you guys. We already watched that one. There was another one. Oh, yeah. The Florida Gator fans react. So you guys can see, man, Billy leaving the stadium. Obviously, the swamp has been drained, and all the fans are booing him. All the fans that stayed to the end of that game was booing him. Also, we got clips from the Miami Hurricane game. You know, Chris Johnson, speed, talking about speed. Check. Let me make it a big for you guys.
Get out to him. Got a blocker in front from the Restrepo. Great block. Johnson on his way.
You know, that's all you seen all day from Miami, man. That's all you're gonna see from Miami all year, man. Straight touchdowns, wins, and shit like that. You know, if you're looking for something different from Miami, like some struggling and something like that, this is not the season. Don't watch us if that's what you're looking for. We ain't gonna do none of that. I do got another clip from Florida that I thought was absolutely crazy, hilarious. You know, I want you guys to see the other humiliation that is Billy Napier.
DJ Douglas out of his cleats here.
Watch this. Who? Oh my goodness! Baptized in the name of Jesus. This play right here is one of those games that you see a player get baptized in the name of Jesus. Let's run it back. Come on. Watch my guy's feet. Watch this. Woo! Gave him baptized in the name of Jesus. Man, on this Sunday, this man got baptized. One more time, guys. You got to see this. Check the leg. Check the feet.
Douglas out of his cleats here.
Boom! Oh, my boy.
And that cutting this is why he was the number 4 ranked dual threat
Oh, from a different angle. Y'all about to watch my guy get baptized in a different angle.
quarterback coming out of high school.
Are you getting... Oh, God, you got to love Florida. You got to love them. Man, my boy got baptized in the name of Jesus. That's tough. Obviously, we watched the Memphis thing. So they said somebody posted this on Instagram. It's time Florida needs to fire Billy Napier. And Eugene Wilson III liked the post. He liked it. Eugene Wilson III liked the post. That's tough. So obviously, even the players on the team want Billy fired. Now, remember I told you guys when Florida State lost. Remember I told you guys, man, at the stadium, when Florida State lost, the whole Miami Hurricane, all of them was in the back. We couldn't go out on the field because of the lightning delay or whatever. Everybody was in the back doing the war chant when that clock hit 0. That's tough. That's rivalry at its best. Those boys 0-3 and lost to Memphis. Man, that's tough. And, of course, we've been talking about it. The whole Florida fans, all of them want Lane Kiffin. All of them praying for Lane Kiffin. Remember 3 years ago when Miami fired Danny Diaz, Manny Diaz. That's his name. Not Danny Diaz, Manny Diaz. Remember when they fired Manny Diaz and everybody was, Lane Kiffin to Miami. Some of us wanted Mario, but the other half was talking about Lane Kiffin. Well, Florida is doing the same thing right now. They want Lane Kiffin. Right now, Florida fans would actually suck their own meat to get Lane Kiffin over there. That's tough. All right, folks. So let's see. This week, Duke handled business. Speaking of Manny Diaz and Diaz, whatever you want to call him. Duke survived against UConn. They beat them 26-21. Survival game. Murphy threw for 367 yards against UConn. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. North Carolina handled business also. They beat North Carolina Central, nothing much to see there. 45-10, not much to talk about. Virginia Tech, they handled business. They didn't get, sucked into the curse that is Old Dominion, because they've been going back and forth for the past, couple of years now, where for some odd reason Virginia Tech would lose to Old Dominion. But they handled business, beat them by 20, 37-17. Drone threw for a touchdown and an interception. Drone was one of those quarterbacks in the offseason that people thought was going to be a lot better than he's showcased so far. He also rushed for, 117 yards and a touchdown yesterday. So he pretty much was a lot of their offense. Virginia lost to Maryland, of course. Virginia's been up and down, all the past 10 years or so. So this is nothing new. 27-13. Maryland took care of business. And California, Cal, new member of the ACC, they handled business 31-10 against San Diego State. Speaking of San Diego State in the Pac-12 will be in the Pac-12 this 2026 season. So the Pac-12 will be back up, guys. Pac-12 will be back up. They'll be up to 16. They'll add an additional of 4 more teams to the Pac-12. So the Pac-12 is trying to rebuild. I'm pretty sure somewhere down the line they might find some other teams that, fit in there, that probably going to come out of maybe like, some of those other group of 5 schools, and they probably try to make like a bigger conference, alongside with Oregon State and Washington State. So we'll see how that develops. So those are the ACC matchups that happen. Let's go into the next, Power 4 team along the list, which is the Big 12. Let's talk about their games that happened yesterday, who won and that, and the third. So obviously Friday night, Arizona State survived against Texas State. They went into Texas State and got a win. pretty much last-minute field goal kind of deal, and then they held them off. We talked about Kansas. UNLV upsets Kansas. UNLV upsets Kansas, beat them by a field goal, 23-20, and that's it. Nothing to talk about there. Cincinnati beat Miami of Ohio, 27-16. Not much to really see, just a nice win for Cincinnati, bouncing back after losing the Pitt last week in a major comeback. Texas Tech beat the brakes off North Texas, by the way, 66-21. Total domination, especially in the second quarter. They scored 35 points in the second quarter. This game was over by halftime. Not to mention, they already scored 17 in the first half. It was 17 in the first quarter, and it was 17-7 at the end of the first quarter. Then they just went on a 35-0. Crazy, absolute crazy. We talked about Pitt, Air Force loses to Baylor. Baylor beat them 31-3. Not much to see there. Just Baylor straight dominating. Colorado versus Colorado State. A lot of trash talking went into this game. Obviously, last year Colorado won this game, but it was a lot closer and everything like that. Well, this time around, this game was pretty much over by the end of the third quarter. Colorado wins 28-9. Last week they got beat by the score of 28-10 or whatever. This week they just got, returned the favor and scored 28 this time. So Colorado improves to 2-1 on the season. 2-1. The only loss so far is Nebraska from last week. So Deion Sanders in Colorado right now are sitting at, 2-1. 2-1. So obviously last season, the year before last, they was like 1-11. Deion came and they won 4 games last year. This time now there were 2 games. Last year, this time they was 3-0. So it's going to be interesting to see how many games Colorado and Deion Sanders and, Shiloh and, all those guys, Shedeur Sanders, how many games they can win. Shedeur threw for 4 touchdowns yesterday, 310 yards, and 2 touchdowns of those belongs to, Travis Hunter, 13 catches for 100 yards. So obviously you guys know the kind of the caliber of athlete, Travis Hunter is. He's playing on both sides of the field and, still putting up tremendous numbers. So, let's move on. Nail biter. TCU goes down. UCF with a major win. 35-34. Nail biter. Down 1-point win. Sheesh. Which is crazy because TCU's quarterback threw for 4 touchdowns and 402 yards, and they still lose. The story of the day, though, was UCF's running back, 29 carries for 180 yards and 2 touchdowns. TCU wide receiver had 9 catches for 200 yards. This was a total back and forth between 2 powerful offense because defense was non-existent in this game. That's tough. Houston beat Rice. Houston finally got a win on the season, 33-7. Not much to really talk about. I don't know too much about no Rice or whatever. BYU handled business against Wyoming. BYU 3-0. Wyoming is now sitting at 0-3. So you kind of get the picture. One team that's trying to survive, and the other team that's barely even on life support. The Big Ten, games that we haven't talked about yet. So Illinois handled business against Central Michigan, 30-9. Pretty much your lower, less talented opponent, and you handle business. You beat them. They was only allowed to score three field goals on you. So total dominating win for them. Michigan State handled Prairie View, beat them handsomely, 40-0. Nothing to talk about. Speaking of 0. Minnesota also beat Nevada 27-0, and Washington versus Washington State. So Washington gets his first loss, his first upset of the year. They lost to Washington State. Washington State now improves to 3-0 on the season, and Washington is now 2-1. Washington's first game against Washington State after leaving the Pac-12 to go to the Big Ten. They are now a loser, a loser to Washington State, of course, 24-14. 24-19. They got the job done. Now, Will Rogers did throw for 314 yards and a touchdown in that game, but Washington totally dominated offensively. When it comes to the numbers, when it comes to the stats, they just couldn't pull off the win. You know, Washington State was just that team that just hung around and was just this mosquito in your ear, and it finally bit them in the end. That's tough. Iowa gets the win, bounce back this week against Troy. Troy has now moved on to 0-3, while Iowa's, coming off of that loss against Iowa State. 38-21. So, bounce back week for Iowa, which I told you guys that last week that would happen. Indiana also beats UCLA 42-13. Total blowout. Welcome to the Big Ten, UCLA. That's tough. Indiana quarterback threw for 4 touchdowns in that game, 307 yards. Total domination. UCLA could not establish the run. Plain and simple. If you can't run the ball, most of the time you're going to lose. Northwestern beat Eastern Illinois 31-7. Not much to talk about there. Just your typical FCS opponent. And we already talked about Maryland versus Virginia. So let's go on into the SEC. The SEC games outside of the top 25 that we have not talked about. So let's just go on into there. We already talked about those because those are ranked. Most of the SEC teams that played are ranked. Outside of Florida losing to Texas A&M, we already talked about that. Florida's absolutely trash, terrible, and everything like that. For those of y'all that just tuned in, they're not going to win much this year. Arkansas beats UAB by 10. Arkansas bounced back after, almost basically, winning against Oklahoma State last week and then, pissed down their leg, man. They pissed down their leg. They should have won that game. Vanderbilt takes an L. Vanderbilt takes his first L of the season. 36-32 to Georgia State. Vanderbilt being Vanderbilt. That's tough. Auburn handled business. They beat Auburn. Auburn beat New Mexico. 45-19. 45-19. Total beatdown. Nothing really to see. Just demonstrate your power against a lesser opponent. And then there was Mississippi State. Florida's next opponent, by the way, Mississippi State. Toledo beats them the same way Miami beats Florida, 41-17. Mississippi State loses to Toledo 41-17. An SEC bottom feeder gets totally dominated by a group of 5. Toledo knocked the teeth loose. God dog it. SEC is down bad. Their bottom feeders are down bad this week. And their top guy, Georgia, damn near escaped with a 1-point win. My God. SEC, tighten up. Y'all ain't, man. I'm just kidding. SEC had a good week. Most of the teams are ranked in the top 25, and they got wins outside of their 2 bottom feeders. And 3 bottom feeders. Because Florida is a bottom feeder. We all know Florida is a bottom feeder. But let's switch gears, man. Let's talk about the top 25 in week number 4. Let's see what good matchups we're going to have this week. Obviously, the top 25 will change. It won't change as much. So most of these games will be considered, top 25 opponents or whatever. One or two of them might not be in the same position, but nonetheless. So this week coming up on Friday, you got Nebraska versus Illinois. No money line or, over and under or spread that came out for this one. Yeah. Illinois versus Nebraska. Should be an interesting one on a Friday night at 8 p.m. on Fox. So you guys want to tune in and watch that, ESPN Saturday at 7. You got the Miami Hurricanes versus the South Florida Bulls or whatever. Miami will handle business in that one, guys. There's no money line. There's no spread in this one as of yet. But Miami will go up to Tampa, beat the brakes off them, and come back home. It's going to be one of those years. Did you guys know that Cam Ward has already thrown for 1,000 yards already this season? He's at 1,035, by the way. 11 touchdowns, 1 interception. Just to throw that out there. Xavier Restrepo, after 3 games, he's got 14 catches for 63 yards and 4 touchdowns already. So, Miami's doing Miami things. Marshall takes on Ohio State. Ohio State, as of right now, is listed as the number 3 team in the country. Who knows? They might be the number 2 team in the country. This after the rankings drop. I think maybe, just maybe, or maybe they'll stay put. Maybe Georgia will just drop 1 and Texas will be number 1. Who knows? We'll see. If they even move Georgia, I think they will though. Clemson will take on NC State. I think Clemson will get that win. NC State has been looking a little iffy this year. I'm going to take Clemson. No money line has came out on these games yet. Iowa State versus Arkansas State. We'll see how that goes. Take Iowa State for the win. Penn State, they'll take on Kent State. Go ahead and take Penn State for the win. Not quite sure what the money line will be. Not quite sure what the spread will be. But interesting matchup. Kind of matchup that you prayed for when you saw teams like, USC goes over to the Big Ten and stuff like that. Michigan versus USC. Big Ten matchup. This will be played in Ann Arbor. USC will take that trip. They're coming in at the number 11 team right now, with Michigan coming in at number 17. No money line has came out yet. So we're going to see how that roll. We're going to see how it goes. Somebody says that they already dropped. Okay, so once I run through these games, we'll go and look at the top 25. They're saying that Miami's at number 8. Okay, we'll check that out. We'll check it out. Notre Dame versus Miami of Ohio. Notre Dame for the win. No spread yet. Georgia Tech versus Louisville. This one should be interesting. Georgia Tech bounced back yesterday. Nice win. Louisville still 2-0, had a bye week. So this is going to be an interesting one. Georgia Tech versus Louisville. These are 2 opponents that Miami do play. So it'll be interesting to see them match up against each other. Obviously, we saw Georgia Tech already against Syracuse. Both teams Miami play. Now we get to see Louisville versus Georgia Tech. Those are one of those games that you definitely will want to check out. Northern Illinois, they're ranked because they beat, Notre Dame or whatever. They'll play Buffalo. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't really care about that game. Whoever wins, win. Northern Illinois, I guess, because they beat, Notre Dame. I think if Northern Illinois played Notre Dame again, though, I don't think they win that game. I'm being totally honest with you. UCLA versus LSU. Big Ten versus SEC. Take LSU for the win. I think they'll win that game. UCLA can't run the ball. Utah versus Oklahoma State. Now, this is going to be a good one. Big 12 matchup. I'm leaning more towards Oklahoma State. This is a home game for Oklahoma State also, but at the same time, you can't count out Utah. So this is going to be an interesting Big 12 matchup. Utah's first year in the Big 12. Can they take down Oklahoma State? Man, that's gonna be a good. That'll be a good one. Vanderbilt versus Missouri. Take Missouri. Take Missouri for the win. No spread. No spread yet. Tennessee versus Oklahoma. Tennessee versus Oklahoma. This one is gonna be great too. This is what I've been waiting for. These are the kind of games I want to see. Thank God that Texas and Oklahoma came over to the SEC. This is what I want to see. These are games I want to see. I don't know where to go with this one. I don't know whether to take Tennessee or to take Oklahoma. Now, Tennessee has been more impressive this season than Oklahoma, but games like this, you just never know. You got two teams that are definitely going to play some offense. Obviously, Tennessee defense has showed up a lot more, but man, that's going to be a good one. This is what college football is made of, man. Ole Miss versus Georgia Southern. Ole Miss for the win. Whatever the points is, probably Lamb. Lane Kiffin is on a blow everybody out kind of deal this year. I don't think he's taking no questions or nothing. Then you got Texas, UNL Monroe. Texas for the win. Nothing to see there. Michigan State versus Boston College. This one should be interesting too. ACC versus, the Big Ten. I could see this game going either way. I could see Boston College winning this thing. I think what Bill O'Brien is doing up there is incredible. I could see this one going either way. You know what? I'm gonna even be an ACC homer on this one. I'm gonna take Boston College. They'll probably come out as the underdog in this one, but I'm gonna take Boston College for the win. That's gonna be my underdog of the week. If they even is a underdog, this is gonna be my upset of the week right here. Boston College to upset Michigan State. All right, and then you got Kansas State versus BYU. That one should be interesting also. I might want to make this one also an upset. Might want to have BYU upset Kansas State, but we'll see. We'll see. BYU quarterback so far this season has already thrown 3 interceptions. So, we'll see how that game goes. But those are your top 25 matchups. So obviously, you guys just informed me that the rankings has dropped. The new rankings has dropped. So before we go into the rest of the games in the ACC, the matchups that's coming this week in the SEC, Big 10, Big 12, let's take a look. So as I predicted earlier, Texas is the number 1 team in the country right now in the AP poll. Georgia drops to number 2. And then Ohio State, Alabama, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Missouri. So Missouri basically dropped 1 because Tennessee had a great performance yesterday, 71-0 against their opponent. So obviously they switched place. Now Miami jumped 2 places. Oregon stays the same at number 9, and Penn State dropped down to number 2. Penn State did not play yesterday, but Miami had a tremendous, outing yesterday, 62-0 against Ball State. So Miami will jump up to the number 8 team in the country right now. We climbing, baby. We climbing. Over, if you look on the coaches poll, Miami jumps up 1. They're now number 11 instead of number 12 from last week. So obviously in the AP, Miami's a lot better than in the coaches poll. We're sitting outside of the top 10 in the coaches poll, but we're number 8 in the country in the AP poll, the top 10, which right now they go by the AP, by the way. So don't listen to the coaches poll. There's a lot of coaches out here hating on Miami just because they NIL situations suck. That's tough. Oklahoma State eat ass. But anyway, so to wrap up the top 15, top 25 or whatever, USC, they stay the same at 11. Utah stays the same. Kansas State came up 1 while jumping over Oklahoma State. Oklahoma stays at 15. LSU stays at 16. Notre Dame moved up 1. Michigan dropped. They just flip-flop with each other. Louisville stays at 19. Louisville did not play yesterday, by the way. Iowa State moved up 1. Clemson moved up 1. Clemson didn't even play yesterday. Nebraska moved up 1. Northern Illinois moved up too, which is crazy. So Northern Illinois now is sitting at number 23 in the country. And Texas A&M is now ranked after beating Florida. Illinois is also now ranked. So, damn, Florida. Not only did Texas A&M come into the swamp, they used you guys to propel themselves into the top 25. That's tough. That's tough. All right. So let's get back to the games. Games got to get played, and obviously, in week 4, let's see who the ACC matchups are outside of the top 25. So Syracuse versus Stanford, that'll be played on Friday night on ESPN 7:30. So that might be a matchup you guys want to check out. Miami versus South Florida, that'll go down. Clemson, North Carolina, we talked about North Carolina State. We talked about that already. I think Clemson wins that game. I already told you guys. North Carolina, James Madison, take North Carolina to improve to 4-0. Then you got Virginia versus Coastal Carolina. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Now, I hate picking wins against us, but I think when I say us, I mean SEC. I'm not ACC. I might as well become a homer since they be pumping all this SEC homer crap. I want to see the teams in the ACC do well, but unfortunately, I think that Coastal Carolina is going to beat Virginia, and I say that because I want whenever Miami plays any of these teams, their status is a little bit better. So, it is what it is. Georgia Tech, Louisville, we already talked about that one. I think Louisville probably will get the win, but this one I think could go either way. Nonetheless, as a Miami Hurricane fan, I will be watching that game. Rutgers versus Virginia Tech. That's Virginia Tech at home. No points, no spread put out there yet, so we'll see. That's a Big Ten SEC matchup. I think that one probably could go either way, but we'll see how that works. Pitt versus Youngstown State. Take Pitt for the win. Pitt will improve to 4-0 in my book. The Duke versus Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee is 1-2, while Duke is 3-0. I think Duke will improve to 4-0. Hopefully they do. Hopefully they do beat Middle Tennessee. If not, then you guys can laugh at Manny Diaz for losing to Middle Tennessee also. But I think Duke will get the win in this one. I don't think the Middle Tennessee that you've seen before is the same. Nonetheless, I hope Duke actually get the win. Miami do take on Duke, and I need this to be a strong matchup. I need Miami to play strong opponents so we can continue to climb and continue to beat teams the way we beat them, and some of these games will actually be meaningful. So, yeah, hopefully Duke win that game. I'm going to take Duke. TCU versus SMU in Dallas. Also need SMU to win this game. I'm rooting for SMU, but I could see TCU winning this game, and I could see TCU winning this game big. So those are the games that your heart wants SMU to win because obviously they're an ACC opponent. They're an ACC team now, and we want to have our conference looking strong. So when we beat these guys, they seem a lot more meaningful, and we get a lot more star points for doing so. But I could also see TCU totally blowing the brakes off SMU. But I want SMU to win, plain and simple. Cal versus Florida State. Miami plays Cal. Florida State at this point is a dumpster juice, dumpster fire. Their season is done. I hope Cal beat the brakes off of them, knock them completely off the map. Miami do play both of these teams, Florida State and Cal. I want to watch this game to see what Cal is going to do because obviously after Miami takes on USF this week, they'll take on Cal as the next opponent. So I want to see Cal versus Florida State. I want to see what Cal is made of. I want to see Cal knock the dust off Florida State. Florida State could go 0-12 for the rest of the season for all I care. 1-11, who knows? I don't care. Florida State is an absolute total disaster, dumpster juice. They're an embarrassment to the ACC, and I hope they continue to get embarrassed. Hell, Cal for the win. DJU this season, after 3 games, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. That's his stats. 666. That's his yards, 666 yards. So Cal for the win. This game is played at Tallahassee. This will be on ESPN too, not ESPN, because the Miami game will be on ESPN. That's tough. Sorry, ad team. And I already told you guys, Boston College versus Michigan State. That'll be ACC versus Big 12. Hopefully the ACC get the dub. Like I said, guys, we don't play Boston College, but I need this damn conference to start looking strong. So don't want to be a homer, but at this point, I think I'm forced to be. I'm forced to root for some of these ACC teams, plain and simple. Ed says Florida State beat Miami 3-0. Nobody cares. Welcome to this season. Stop living in the past, sir. You Florida State fans love to talk about, people living in the past and stop living in the past. Welcome to 2024. You are 0-3, sir. Florida State fans, none of y'all get to talk until y'all are above 500. How about that? None of y'all get to say anything. Y'all don't get to talk no trash until y'all are above 500. Now, feel free to talk all the trash in the chat you want. I ain't stopping you guys. But I'm just saying, if I was a Florida State fan, I wouldn't talk no trash until my team is at least above 500. That's tough. Garbage. All right, let's move on from the ACC. Let's go on into the Big 12 matchups this week. Should be some interesting one also. No Friday game for them, but you got Cincinnati versus Houston. Cincinnati, I'll take Cincinnati for the win. Houston's been terrible so far. Kansas versus West Virginia. Both teams comes into this game 1-2. Mid off basically. I'm gonna go with West Virginia on this one. I just seen Kansas lose to UNLV. I can't get it out of my mind, so I'm gonna take West Virginia for the win. They did give Pitt a nice run for their money in that game, in that rival game, backyard brawl or whatever. Iowa State we already talked about. Our Arizona versus Texas Tech. I'm going to take Texas Tech for the win. I'll take Texas Tech for the win. I watched Arizona play the other night against Texas State. Was not impressed. They got the win, but they struggled and looked terrible as a team as a whole, and they were lucky to get that win. I'm going to take Texas Tech for the win. We already talked about that. We talked about that one. This is probably going to be one of those games of the week. Baylor versus Colorado. Both teams are 2-1. This one is played in Boulder. This is a home game for Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter and all of them. So should be interesting to watch. Not quite sure where I want to go with this one. Not quite sure if I want to give Deion this win. Obviously, his 2 wins came from lesser opponents. First week they struggled against an FCS, but the top upper echelon of the FCS. And then yesterday they, totally dominated Colorado State. But the week before we also see them get, demolished by Nebraska. So I'm not quite sure where to go with Colorado. Also not quite sure where to go with Baylor. Haven't really, tuned into Baylor football that much. So if I'm gonna lean towards a team, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna root for Colorado in this one. Obviously, I need the story. I need the storyline behind Deion Sanders to keep going. I like the fun and all that, extra drama stuff that comes behind it. So if Colorado totally get beat down, then everything is quiet and college football is boring without that. So I need them storylines. Let's get Deion that win. How about that? It is what it is. What else? Let's go into the Big Ten. So Big Ten matchups this week. We already talked about that one. Ohio State, Marshall. We are taking Ohio State for the win, of course. Kind of interesting to see how Jeremiah Smith does in that game, though. So far, as a freshman, he's leading Ohio State with 11 catches for 211 yards and 3 touchdowns so far. So it's going to be interesting to see. Indiana, Charlotte, Indiana for the win. Maryland versus Villanova, Maryland for the win. Penn State, we already talked about. Rutgers, we talked about. UCLA versus LSU, we talked about. So you got Washington versus Northwestern. Washington is a Big Ten team. This is a Big Ten matchup. I'm going to take Washington to bounce back. Obviously, Northwestern got to travel over there to Seattle. I'm going to take Washington for the win. Iowa versus Minnesota. Minnesota's at home. Big Ten matchup. I'm gonna take Minnesota for the win, just because they're at home. Most of these games, like I said, guys, normally sometimes the spreads will be out, but there's no spread so far. I guess Vegas is doing a lot of rethinking of how they do these spreads because the last couple of weeks they've been totally off. Some of those games they've been totally on, though. You could possibly say some of them are rigged, but it is what it is. Purdue versus Oregon State. That should be an interesting matchup. That is in Oregon. I think I'm going to take Oregon State for the win. Just watch Notre Dame totally dominate. Purdue, drop 66 on them, 66-7. So I'm going to take Oregon State for the win. Not that big on Oregon State, but this is a home game for them. All right, so let's go on over to the SEC. We probably already talked about most of the SEC matchups because most of their teams are in the top 25, but any matchup that's outside of the top 25, we'll talk about. Like Mississippi State versus Florida. This is in Mississippi. Mississippi State's been looking terrible, man. Not gonna lie. They just got totally dominated yesterday by Toledo. Florida got beat. But I think Florida will win this game. I think Florida can beat Mississippi State. Whether it's with Graham Mertz or whether it's with DJ Lagway or even a combination of both. I think they could get the win against Mississippi State. If they don't, then this might be the game that gets Billy Napier fired totally, if he's not already fired. From what I'm hearing, Florida has already raised the buyout money, which is $26 million to get Billy Napier up out of town. So if he loses this game on the road to Mississippi State and look terrible, especially after Mississippi State just got beat 41-17 against Toledo, a lesser opponent, I think Billy Napier's tenure at Florida probably will be ended there. That's tough. It be like that sometimes. Ohio. Wait, is this on us? Okay, so no SEC is on Friday. Ohio versus Kentucky. Kentucky's at home. Take Kentucky for the win to improve to 2-2 and back in 500 or whatever. Arkansas versus Auburn. That should be an interesting matchup. Auburn's at home. I think I'm going to take Auburn for the win. Arkansas, a little bit up and down. Auburn's a little bit up and down. Auburn's at home. I'm going to take Auburn for the win. Vanderbilt, Missouri for the win. Missouri to win big. What else we got? Texas A&M, Bowling Green. Texas A&M for the win. Texas A&M win big. South Carolina versus Akron. South Carolina for the win. They'll win big at home. And we already talked about the other two, Texas, UNL, Monroe. And you got Ole Miss, Georgia Southern, both wins for the SEC. So there you have it, guys. Games that's upcoming this week. We got some interesting matchups. Miami versus USF. Florida versus Mississippi State. Florida versus Mississippi State. And then you got Florida State versus Cal. Those are the big three games this week. Obviously, Miami versus USF, that's basically going to be the main event for the big three. You got Florida versus Mississippi State. That should be interesting. And Florida State Cal, that should be interesting too. Will Florida State get their first win on this season going out to California? I'm sorry. I think Cal comes to Florida State. Will Florida State get their first win of the season against Cal? Y'all let me know. Will Miami, totally dominate USF, or will it be a close game, too close for comfort or whatever? A lot of people in the beginning of the season was saying this might be a trap game. Watching them play against Alabama the first half and all the way to the third quarter, to be honest with you, a lot of people are saying that USF is, a lot stronger of an opponent that people give them credit for. So will Miami go to USF up there in Tampa and totally dominate, or will it be a close game? Or could any of you guys see Miami being upset in that game? Can Florida go to Mississippi State and get the win, get their first SEC win of the season? Or will, Billy Napier possibly get fired? Can Florida State actually get a win this season against Cal? Appreciate you guys for tuning in. College football, wrap up, college football previews, all that good stuff. Appreciate those of you guys that hit the like button, that subscribe to the channel, that's following on Twitter and all that good stuff. Appreciate you guys. Y'all go out, have a good day, man. Miami's the number 8 team in the country. We're the number 8 team in the country.